Hey everyone, I'm doing a bit of a different video today. I'm skipping out on my Compost Garden of Chaos videos because there's really nothing new to report. Everything is on track. Everything hasn't completely died off, and we are going into some cooler temperatures, so I'll get back on updating that soon. But today I just wanted to focus on my crazy pet corner here in my dining room area. It doesn't look pretty at all. It's an ongoing work in progress, but this is Bubbles' enclosure, and right now it's working okay, but I definitely want to change it and improve some things. So I didn't do the maintenance on Friday, so I'm about to do the maintenance now. So I have like my buckets there. This is Panini's spot. I'm working on taking out all of this dirt and redoing her land area because we have so many little fungus flies or gnat flies from the soil. I don't know if you can see them, but they're just everywhere in the house. They're really annoying. Oh, you can see them right there pretty good. There's millions of them, and I think the best thing I can do at this point is to just completely take out this soil because they are loving the soil, and then starting fresh with a completely new substrate where they can't reproduce. So I'm working on that, and it's a mess. I have one of my little apple plants in here right now because it's too hot for me to put it outside. But I'm just using all this soil in my garden area, and then I'm gonna start fresh here. And ideally what I want to do is have this land area connect to Bubbles' container or enclosure container. I'm looking at the plastic tote, but that's why I'm thinking container. But oh look, Bubbles is actually basking right now. She usually basks in the morning after she eats. She's been chomping on that lettuce, and today is lettuce and pellet day, so usually what I'll do is feed the veggies in the morning and then the pellets later on in the day. And I know that looks like a lot of lettuce, but she only eats the bottom portion of it that's in the water because turtles can only eat in the water because they use the water to swallow their food. If they try and eat on land, it's highly likely that they'll choke and could possibly die. So definitely want them to be eating in the water. Right now I have the Sun canister filter. I have a spray bar in there that's extremely squeaky that I need to rework. And yeah, I got a lot of maintenance to do today, just cleaning things up. I do want to change her basking area, but she seems to really like it. So the main thing that I'm probably going to change is just this ramp and use egg crate. And then I'm probably going to enclose the rest of this area with egg crate. Turtles are climbers, so I'm not sure now that I'm saying it out loud if that's a good idea to use egg crate. Maybe I should actually use something else, but I think it's high enough up to the point like where she wouldn't crawl out, because right here I just kind of use this really trashy looking pool noodle, and then I just use some like garden fencing to make sure she doesn't crawl off the edge there, and that's been working fine. She hasn't tried to like crawl out of it, so I think that would be okay. But yeah, we'll see. If you guys have any ideas of what I could do, let me know. So yeah, I really thought it would be cool to connect these two enclosures, but I only want to make it so that one of them can use the land at one time. So like Bubbles probably won't use the land unless she's to the point where she needs to lay her eggs. So I figured this would be a good spot for her to lay. And Panini uses the land, Panini is down under the water right now. Panini uses the land mainly at night to hunt. So Bubbles would use it during the day, and Panini would use it at nighttime. So it would be too dangerous to have them both using it at the same time, because these animals do not go well together. You can't keep turtles with they're very solitary creatures. They'll eat anything that's in their enclosure. I know some people do keep like fish and stuff, and they never end up eating those fish, but there's always a risk, and I'd just rather not risk having her with Panini and possibly taking a bite out of Panini, because frogs are also toxic to turtles. So I did make this little door area for her, but I never have it open because obviously with the way things are set up, I don't want her using that area. But yeah, so this is Bubbles' setup right now. I'm gonna make some changes and improvements to it. This is a 40-gallon breeder tank that she's in, which is a big improvement from the 10-gallon, like not even halfway filled with water tank that she came to me in. She didn't have like a UV light. This is a H5, what is it called? T5HO high output UV light that she has, and it's better to have the bar lights like that for UV lighting because they have a greater chance of getting that UV lighting. And then under what she's under now is her basking light. I do need a bigger dome for her, and for both of these I need to get lamp holders. So I will be getting lamp holders eventually, just I can't afford that right now. So it's working well, and let's see what the temperature is at. It's at 84 degrees right now in there. So that's a pretty good basking range. You want the basking area to be about 10 degrees warmer than the water. I think the water is usually at about like 74 degrees, 75. So she really likes her basking area. She's got used to her whole setup. She didn't bask for a while, like I want to say about 3 days, 4 days when she transitioned into this tank, but she's basking now. So I do have a bare bottom for her because it's just a little bit easier to clean and more convenient. But eventually what I want to do is sand and river rock once I have, you know, better arrangement here. I haven't optimized my canister filter, so it just has like, what are these things called? This is one I forgot to put in there. It just has these, like, I really can't remember what they're called. Not bio balls, but just those to gather beneficial bacteria. It has some like sponge filtration in there. Doesn't have any carbon or anything like that, which is really good to have for turtles because turtles drink their water. You want them to have really clean water. Filtration is super important. So carbon, I think, helps neutralize and remove a lot of impurities in the water and just make it cleaner and better. So that's something that I want to add. I'll maybe take a video of when I'm optimizing the canister filter. I know it's weird because everything is on the floor over here. I do what I can, like I'm just one person and I can't really, I don't know how everyone like moves stuff onto their stands and makes it look so nice, but I'm just doing my best. So this is what I have currently, and probably gonna do about a 25% water change. I did have quite a bit of water evaporate. This was filled to about there before, so now I'm down to a little bit less water in here. it's so dry in Arizona that water does have a tendency to evaporate pretty quick. I also have a sponge filter in there just temporarily because the water was pretty murky, and sponge filters are great for just getting all those little tiny particles that muck up the water and make it a lot more clear. Once I have this all changed and everything, I'll show you guys the after. But hey Lyra. Oh, hello. Okay, do you need something? She just like ran up to me and is now checking everything out. Hello. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, so the risk of sponge filters is that your turtle could potentially eat it and it could cause impaction. So a lot of the time when people do use sponge filters in their turtle setups, they will cover them with like egg crate to prevent their turtle from getting to them, or they'll cover them with some type of fencing. I've just been keeping a close eye on it. I haven't noticed her taking any chunks out of it, but that is something to be aware of because that is a risk for impaction. There's just a lot of little things that it's good to know when it comes to caring for turtles. I'm still learning a lot about turtles, so it's been a really fun thing, fun pet, fun hobby for me to have because I really enjoy learning about all my little aquatic animals like Panini. And then I have my fish over here. Everything is such a mess. So I will be cleaning everything up and taking a video of how everything looks after I clean. Bubbles hates when I'm over here when she's basking, so she's just like giving me this death glare. Turtles really don't like when you bother them when they're living their lives. Whenever I try and change the water or like clean up her tank a little bit, she will try and attack me because they're also very territorial animals, and that's another reason why they do well living by themselves. So yeah, sponge filter I might take out just because, you know, it is an impaction risk. I don't want her to take any chunks out of that. Panini is in closure. Everything is fine right now. I just need to probably do a regular water change, scrub the walls. I usually wring out her filter. And then of course I need to be fixing up the land. I think I'm gonna save the Corey's tank for tomorrow. And yep, that's all. I just wanted to let you guys know kind of what my setup is here. Still learning a lot about Bubbles. She is a rescue turtle. She was living in that little tiny 10-gallon aquarium for 8 years. She's actually in pretty decent shape, all things considered. Her shell is a little bit rough. She's got retained scoots that you can see. And she's had enough of me putting the camera in her face, but that's what we're working to correct right now. So once a week, twice a week, I'll take a toothbrush and some warm water and just kind of gently brush her shell. And then she is getting wheat germ pellets in her diet to help with the shedding. So hopefully she'll shed those soon and start growing. Due to the improper care that she had for the 8 years, she does have stunted growth. She's very small and should probably be a lot bigger. I think her shell, when I got her, was just over, a little over 3 inches, like 3.5 inches. Probably by next month I'll measure her again. and see if she's growing at all. Another thing about turtles is that they do love to eat. So it's really important that you monitor what they eat and don't overfeed them, because if you do overfeed them, they're in danger of, it puts them in danger of their organs growing faster than their shell can grow, and they could die. So you want to make sure you're monitoring what they get fed. For her age, since she's no longer a juvenile, she should be getting 75% vegetable and then 25% protein. So this is the feeding chart that I follow right now. This is great to keep track of what she gets each day. So I'll just come, like today, for Monday, she has the staple shell size piece of greens and the pellets, and it shows just how much she should get. So for the staple greens, red lettuce, green lettuce, dandelion greens, those are all greens that they can have every day. And then moderate greens, like not as frequent, would be romaine lettuce and like mustard greens, kale, stuff like that. And then there are just a few different kinds of fruit that they can have. Of course, fruit is high in sugar, so you want that to be used sparingly. They can have treats every once in a while, like shrimp and crickets. Bubbles was fed mainly crickets and pellets, and I don't think she was fed any greens. But luckily she is good about eating her greens. She loves lettuce. I didn't have any issues getting her to eat it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. This is a really long video. I'm gonna cut it off here so that I can do the maintenance, and then I'll show you guys what the tank looks like after I'm done.